Good evening, and welcome to What in the World is Going On. Today we are going to discuss Germany's recession. Germany needs help. It was the only G7 economy to shrink last year and is set to be the group's slowest growing economy again. Germany is becoming a European laggard, experiencing a recession in 2023 and poised to grow more slowly than all OECD member states in 2024. Further industrial production was also reduced to 40% in Germany. This all made the German currency collapse and the prices of articles rose, which then converted into inflation. The small business factories all got ruined, and a sharp fall in agricultural production led to a food crisis. Germany, the sick man of Europe, is about to end a quarter it would rather forget. The first 3 months of 2024 probably marked the second straight quarter of economic contraction, and for the full year, it's expected to deliver little to no growth. If you're a U.S. citizen moving to Germany, you will be pleased to know that the cost of living in Germany is about 21% cheaper than in the United States of America. This is because the cost of food, rent, utilities, and education are significantly lower in Germany than in the USA. Usually, the conclusion is that Germany has a better quality of life than the United States. That certainly rings true in many areas. Germany's policies on paid holiday, sick, and parental leave are all generous compared to the United States. In terms of safety, Germany comes out on top again. Germany is known and admired for many things, from its robust economy to its world-class beer. But recently, Germany has become known for its outstanding quality of life, and increasing numbers of people are moving there to experience its high standard of living. But what makes life in Germany so amazing? Is it job security, healthcare, safety, or proximity to nature? For some, it's all of the above. Here's why German quality of life is so good. Germany is renowned for its strong economic performance, which is reflected in the Better Life Index statistics. Employment is high, with around 77% of people aged 15 to 64 in Germany working a paid job. Germans also enjoy a relatively high amount of disposable income at $38,972 per year. It's higher than the OECD average. This is all balanced on top of an excellent education system, with 86% of adults aged 25 to 64 having complete secondary education. Germany topped the World Education Ranking in 2023 thanks to its high literacy rate, focus on innovation, and concentration on practical skills. The country is also highly regarded for offering employees a good work-life balance. Workers in Germany get a minimum of 20 days of paid holiday leave per year and can work a maximum of 8 hours per day, with certain exceptions. However, it's not all rosy in Germany in terms of work-life balance. A 2022 survey of 4 countries revealed that people in Germany work longer hours and have less free time than their counterparts in the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and The healthcare system in Germany is generally excellent. Health insurance is mandatory, ensuring almost universal coverage, and life expectancy in the country is just over 81 years, which is average in the OECD. Meanwhile, air pollution in Germany is lower than the OECD average. Germany is also considered a relatively safe place to live. In 2023, it ranked 15 out of 163 countries on the Global Peace Index. Homicide rates in Germany are low, and over 3/4 of Germans report feeling safe walking the streets alone at night. Money, jobs, health, and safety are all critical factors contributing to quality of life. But social and lifestyle factors also matter. On average, Germans have a reasonable, strong support network. 90% of people in Germany say they have someone to turn to in times of need, putting Germany in line with the OECD average. When it comes to lifestyle, Germany is a diverse country with a decades-long history of welcoming people from all over the world. This has resulted in a multicultural society that celebrates a variety of traditions. However, there are a few common factors Germans tend to share. Many Germans enjoy traveling internationally, with Germany spending more per capita on foreign travel than any other country in Europe. Staying active is also important to many Germans, with one-third belonging to a sports club or organization. Why then has Germany's economy been so weak? This reflects a combination of temporary factors and some more structural ones. On the temporary side, when inflation surged, consumers cut back on purchases. The European Central Bank also raised interest rates to prevent higher inflation from becoming entrenched, which in turn depressed housing, construction, and other interest-sensitive sectors. A post-pandemic rebalancing of global demand away from manufactured goods and back toward services was also unfavorable for Germany's manufacturing intensive economy. The good news is that these temporary headwinds should gradually fade over the next year or two. The bad news is that a more fundamental structure headwind, sluggish productivity growth, is likely to remain absent reforms, while another population aging will accelerate sharply. Germany's working age population has been kept afloat over the last decade by migrants escaping regional conflicts. As this migrant wave ends and baby boomers retire over the next 5 years, the growth rate of Germany's labor force will drop by more than in any other G7 country. This will put downward pressure on the GDP per person because there will be fewer workers for each retiree. It will also lead to a combination of higher Social Security contributions and lower pensions absence reforms. And a more elderly population will increase demand for healthcare services, drawing workers away from other industries. Labor shortages could also deter investment. Greater immigration could be a powerful force to counter these factors. However, prospects for this are uncertain. Germany could also increase its labor supply by making it easier for women to extend their working hours. There are 2.3 million fewer women working than men, and women are 5 times more likely to work part-time. Expanding access to reliable child care and reducing taxes for secondary earners and married couples could help those close these gaps. Another solution is to raise productivity, which has been dragged down by inadequate investment in public infrastructure. Public investment declined in the 1990s and, since then, has barely been enough to offset depreciation. This puts Germany near the bottom of advanced economies in public investment. Money that has been budgeted for investment is routinely underspent, often because of staff shortages in municipalities. Now, who does Germany owe money to? While Germany's long-term debt to the United States of more than $1 billion is large in an absolute sense, it is less per capita than similar debt owed by several other countries. Around 1.44 billion euros is paid from the federal budget each year for pensions and care costs of victims of Nazi persecution. Germany agreed to pay approximately 1.2 billion euros to Holocaust survivors living around the world in 2023. Germany marks 70 years of compensating Holocaust survivors. The German government was forced to bail out some banks during the financial crisis of 2000. The government still owes those banks, and it includes the debt in the records of the public debt of the nation. How much do you need to live in Germany comfortably? To live comfortably in Germany, one typically needs a net income 2,500 euros to 3,500 euros. This depends on various factors, such as where you live and your lifestyle. Generally, earning between 70,000 euros and 80,000 euros annually is seen as comfortable. In the international tax competition for corporate investments, Germany falls into the category of high-tax countries. In terms of the tax burden for a highly qualified labor force, however, Germany is positioned in the mid-range of the ranking. The cost of clothing in Germany is cheaper than in many of its neighboring countries in Europe. The average amount spent on clothing by students is 42 euros. Food prices in Germany are generally considered to be quite low, especially compared to those of neighboring countries such as France, Italy, Australia, and Sweden. In 2023, based on preliminary figures, private households spent roughly 203.3 billion euros on food, up from around 189.4 billion euros in 2022. Groceries are the second largest expense after housing costs. In 2022, German households spent an average of 417 euros per month on food, beverage, and tobacco. Let's look at a summary of the cost of living in Germany. A family of four estimated monthly cost is $3,736.10 without rent. A single person estimated monthly costs are $1,130 without rent. The cost of living in Germany is on average 5% lower than in the United States. Rent in Germany is on average 41.2% lower than in the United States. When it comes to eating out as far as restaurants, an inexpensive restaurant meal will cost roughly 14 euros. Meals for two people, mid-range restaurant, 3-course, is roughly 60 euros. A McDonald's meal would cost 10 euros. Domestic beer, 1 pint draft, would cost 4 euros. Imported beer, 12-ounce bottle, 4 euros. On the markets, as far as supermarkets are concerned, milk, 1 gallon, would cost you 4 euros 15 cents. A loaf of fresh white bread would cost you 1 euro 73 cents. Rice, white, 1 pound, 1 euro 35 cents. Eggs, 1 dozen, 3 euros 22 cents. Local cheese, 1 pound, 5 euros 76 cents. Chicken fillet, 1 pound, 5 euros 91 cents. Beef round, 7 euros 70 cents. Apples, 1 pound, 1 euro 22 cents. Why is Germany economy suffering? Germany industry sector is particularly strained by high interest rates, skilled labor deficits, and extensive regulations, leading to more insolvencies. Germany's economy model is irreparably broken. France and Germany's economy are the worst performing in Europe, while the UK is seen as doing moderately well on the upside. Spain and Italy see distinctively more positive signs. European countries have been facing an increasingly difficult business environment due to soaring inflation, as well as higher borrowing costs, as interest rates continue to remain uncomfortably high. As such, several companies across industries have had to halt or postpone projects due to the cost of debt rapidly becoming unaffordable. This has also impacted capital investments and hiring. On the consumer side, increasing inflation has caused price rises across a variety of necessities and services. Surging interest rates have also bumped up the cost of mortgages, leaving consumers with less disposable income. The real estate sector is the one that is seeing the most distress throughout the continent, mainly due to falling property values and refinancing woes. Furthermore, increasingly debt-ridden real estate and property firms are struggling to service their debt, leaving little available capital for new investment or ongoing projects. The German industry sector is especially suffering due to the German economy already being seen as the sick man of Europe. Similarly, the consumer and retail sector has also been lagging considerably as households tighten purse strings due to the cost of living crisis and rising rents and mortgages. Younger people are also taking on more debt than ever, which is leaving them with significantly less disposable income to spend on upper scale or luxury items. Several high street businesses in the UK and Europe has also faced a slew of tech problems and insolvencies in the last few months. However, the healthcare sector seems to be seeing slightly more liquidity than before, with investors starting to be cautiously optimistic, although overtly leveraged firms continue to be a concern. Germany, of all the European countries, even though it has a recession, is embracing an economic collapse. Germany seems to be holding up fairly well regarding the lack of political unrest and social upheaval. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.